Yeah, you and me, we can ride on the star. If you stay with me, girl, we can rule the world. Yeah, you and me, we can light up the sky. If you stay by my side, we can rule the world. Here, on the Skinny Jean Gardener Show.
Facilia. Or Pachilia, you just read it off there.
Yeah. Oh, I'm on.
Oh, I can't hear you, Anon. I've done something wrong with the thing. Anyway, Alison Poo is what I got.
Good evening, Lee. How are you?
Great, mate. Your signal is always terrible, but I'm good, my friend. Excuse me. You got an allotment? When I go, don't put artificial grass on top of me, alright?
Are you going to get composted, Lee?
Yeah,
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the show. How are you all doing? It's Wednesday the 13th. Unlucky for some. What a great evening. Let me start by saying what a great night I had last night. Started on a low, ended on a high with Robert. So thanks so much. If you want to listen back to that interview that's coming up on the podcast, the audio podcast, very soon. There's so much confusion about what this is and what the audio podcast is, but we'll try and work that out at some point. People think I'm talking about this right now, and then some people don't realise that the audio goes on the podcast in 2 weeks' time. That's how it works. Doesn't matter. We'll work it out. I hope you're all good. Tonight, your calls 0742 357 4520. You can call in about absolutely anything you want. Got a gardening problem? We'll solve it together. Got a gardening story? We'll probably take the mick out of it, but at the same time, we'll listen to it. You got plans for next year? You got plans for this weekend, even? Would love to hear from you. Also, you can be zapped in to the conversation. Are we clear today? Are we clear? Rich says we're clear. You can be zapped into the conversation by clicking the link in the description or wherever the comments are. You can be zapped in 2 hours of this. Just me chatting. Now, don't get me wrong, I love chatting. It's my favourite thing to do. But it ain't half easy a show when you guys call in. So please do. The heat is on tonight. It's cold in the shed. It's cold in the shedio tonight. So the heater, for the first time, maybe we should have like an announcement. Heater has arrived. Which feels like it's some sort of big event, isn't it? It's getting cold out there. It's been a cold day, isn't it? Started that. Someone tell me not to. Every time we talk about cold weather, where's the bell? Where did the bell go? Oh, it's around there. Every time we talk about cold weather, knock the bell. That will knock us out of that. Constant discussion. The constant discussion. Let's see who's about tonight. Come say hello in the comments. Mr. Michael Perry is around tonight. Hello, Perry. How you doing, my friends? Richard Suggett, looking sharp. I think he means the picture, but I'll take it as the hair's looking good. Did I have a trim today? Yeah, mate. I had a trim today. And it's warm. Stuart's in the house. Evening, Stu. Hope you're having a great week, my friend. Don't know if you've seen it. It's a bit of a story, but the top is a bit egotistical as well. But for all the wrong reasons, I'll explain it in a second. The top 50 influential garden presenters got in it. Not initially, but we'll talk about it in a sec. Today, I've been out and about. I did an interview today, and it was all right. It was not a bad interview, but I'm not sure if to put it out. I'm not sure. I don't know if it was quite. I was excited about this interview, It's been 3 years in the making, and maybe because it took 3 years to actually happen, I felt a bit rubbish after it. Could come out in a few weeks' time. You'll know when it comes out. Don't know what happened. I just don't feel like we had enough time today. I won't say who it was. I might have mentioned it in the week. I don't know if we had enough time, if we really managed to delve in. It felt very like going from last night's chat with Rob to go into today's chat. Today's felt very BBC snippets. Not really a chat that I felt like connected with. We'll see. We'll see if we put it out. We'll see what happens. I don't know if I mentioned. Ian says, not the Rich Brothers. No, that would, whatever happens, that would have been a good one. I can guarantee you the Rich Brothers would be good. I don't know what it was today. Who I interviewed probably thought, yeah, wicked. Maybe because we really delved deep last night on the show. I've just felt like maybe going from that to what we got today was just not quite it. I'll let you decide in a couple of weeks' time when we put the podcast out. Anyway, we'll put it on here, and we'll see. Don't get me wrong; it was a good chat as a little snippet bit. Maybe I'm letting it eat me up too much. But it wasn't the Rich Brothers. We'll get them on at some point. Yo, Dimmock. There we go. It's not a tattoo, by the way. It doesn't look good then. Charlie Dimmock, come on the show. Can't really see it, can you? It's a waste of ink. But there we go. Let's get into it. Let's get into the show, peeps. I wasn't starstruck either. Sagat says, where's you starstruck? I wasn't starstruck today. It wasn't that. It was just, it didn't. I'll tell you. By the way, guys, Richard Suggett's on the show tomorrow. Can't wait for that. Gonna have a good show tomorrow. It wasn't that I was starstruck. It was someone I've worked with before and not no reason about. I know him okay. I know him as well as I know Suggs. Something didn't flow, man. Something didn't flow with it. And Suggs knows with interviews and stuff. You either get. I mean, the worst thing is when you go and do this sort of thing, and I say, how long you got? I said 10 minutes. Isn't really enough to delve, is it? Not really. Yo, Dan, how you doing? God, I hope I got the name right. Dan isn't in the house. How you doing? Good evening to you. What's Rich say? Yep, just preparing the podding shed. Oh yeah, we are leaving this shed behind tomorrow, guys. And we are heading to Mr. Suggett's. Mr. Suggett's podding shed. Very excited about that. Pumped about it. Loved the garden Charlie did tonight. Oh, do you know what? We really must watch an episode of what's that called? What's that program called? Got so much in a small space. Yeah, we do need to. We'll watch one of them episodes because I think that would be good, Ian. When's it on? When's that? What is that program called, Ian? That Charlie Dimmock's on. What is the actual program called? Garden Rescue. That's it. Got there before you. I like that program. I don't actually mind it. Apart from when she put that artificial grass in the other week, was not a wise move. Not a wild move. Still, you can get lost tonight. Joker. Anyway, right, yes, tomorrow we will be coming live with Mr. Richard Suggett. Right, let me tell you what we're going to look at tonight. Just quick, I know we're going to do some kids garden chat later. If you fancy it, if you've got something you want to say, then please do. 0742 357 4520. I want to look at something. We've done this before. We've done this on the show. About a year ago, maybe. What's it called? I'm just searching it so we can have a look at it. Mr. Michael Perry, if he's still about, he is on. He's on this, guys. He's on it. It was announced today the top 50 TV garden presenters. Now, obviously, we were going to look at it anyway. I saw it pop up. Obviously, the first time it popped up, I better check that I'm still on there. I wasn't on it, and it got changed around a little bit. Some people got knocked off. Some people stayed. Tonight, we'll go through them and decide whether they should be part of the top 50. The top 50. Sorry, I just saw a comment come through. Sorry, what's happened this week? Have I missed much? Have you missed much? What's happened this week? We had Robert on yesterday. Missed a good interview then. Monday. Did you miss much on Monday? I can't remember what happened on Monday. This week feels like a blur, doesn't it? Anyway, the top 50, ladies and gents. The top 50. I had to mention it tonight because it's just come out. The top 50. Keep saying top 50. Is it on your screens? Should be on the screens right now. The top 50 garden presenters. Horticultural Week has ranked the UK's most influential 50 active gardening TV presenters. Keyword active. With the current run of Gardeners World coming to an end and calls for a winter series of the BBC show turned down, that always happens, doesn't it? We talked about that on Monday. I'm sure we talked about it. About how media stops now, usually. We're just kicking off, team. We're just kicking off. Armchair gardeners will have to watch TV Garden on catch up. Or watch this, to be fair. He could have wrote, or watch this. When Monty Don returns, backed by Adam Frost and co. Love Your Garden is set to be back on Thai TV2 as it is Garden Rescue, but coverage may have to be another highlights reel if coronavirus crisis causes cancellations again. Can I just say something? Right? Ain't no coronavirus going to stop us here. We're going to be here 4 nights a week, chatting, gardening. Well, at the moment, chatting gardening rubbish for the top 50, but ego-wise, but it's fine. Maybe along that tick I should have call 0742 357 4520 to stop the ego. But we'll go into that story in a second. Right, anyway, you tell me in the comments what you think. Here's our exclusive list of top 50 influential, gardening TV stars. Do you agree? Question, do you agree, team? Number 1, it's not actually numbered, which is annoying, but we'll do it numbers anyway. Monty Don, Gardener's World, Chelsea Flower Show, American. If anyone wants to call in and go through these with me, then please give me a bell. So we're starting with Monty Don. Is that number 1, team? I think as much as we've talked about Don, haven't we? Yes, Ian. Yes, I'm doing this all winter. All winter. You don't think I'm closing down for winter, do you, mate? I'm about all winter. All winter, Ian. Not Christmas Day. Not that crazy. I think Monty Don is going to have to be 100%. I don't like to say it, but currently Monty Don will have to be up there with the most influential, probably. On TV, he's got. Yeah, here we go. All the Gardeners World, all the gardening programs on TV at the moment, I suppose Gardeners World is up there as the pinnacle, maybe. not 100% rightly so, because as we know, it's for a certain type of audience, and if the BBC are brave enough, they'd definitely do something a bit different than just a makeover show on Gardener's World. But I'd say Monty Don, followed by Alan Titchmarsh. Them two are probably on par with each other, aren't they? Alan and Monty. How old are them two? I saw Titchmarsh on another. He's doing another programme now, isn't he? Has anyone seen it on a Saturday? I think I saw he's doing like an interview programme. I'm sure he is. That guy doesn't stop. Last time I met him, last time I did an interview, I'm sure he was slowing down and retiring. I've never seen him do so much. Anyway, Monty Don is number one. Then Alan Titchmarsh, followed by Adam Frost. I must give that Frosty a bell, as if I've got him on speed dial. But Frosty, the new 100 billion %. I think Monty's got another 2-year contract. I'm going to put it out here now once he's finished. By the way, I feel like people... I think everyone knows who Alan Titchmarsh is. If I say Alan Titchmarsh, I always use Jason, my mate, as a barometer for this sort of stuff. If I say Monty Don, he only knows Monty Don from me talking about Monty Don. Doesn't know... He didn't know him beforehand. Alan Titchmarsh, on the other hand, yes. So, technically, should Titchmarsh be above him? I don't know. Anyway, 2 years' time, I'll put money on it that Frosty will 100% take over Gardener's World. And I think, by doing so, possibly could shake up the whole... If Frosty takes over, I feel like it might shake up the whole of Gardener's World. It could be a whole different programme. There's me today's prediction. Then Charlie Dimmock. Come on, Dimmock at number 4. She got in there, didn't she? With the Rich Brothers. The Rich Brothers? What's Ian saying? Doing a chat show. Almost. Doing a chat show now, is Alan. I know. Back with his chat show. Unbelievable. Dimmock. Unbelievable. Dimmock comes at 4. Do you reckon? I suppose she is on BBC. I suppose it is BBC. All right, we'll give it a Dimmock. And the Rich Brothers. I'd mess around with the Rich Brothers. I actually think they do pretty cool stuff on that garden rescue. I don't mind them. If I could get them on the show, I would. I know I'll mess around. But it would be cool to have them on. Then Harriet Anderson. I love her. Like, I've only met her once. I sat down and had dinner with her randomly. Well, there was a group of us, randomly. And really nice person. Gardener's World, Garden Rescue. Cool to have her up in the top 10. Harriet Anderson. Domini is at number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Domini's at number 7. Okay. Hello, it's not David Donomy, is it? Brilliant. Hello, mate. You all right? It's going down. Yeah. Right. Yeah. I'd agree with you, you know. I'd 100% agree. I think, like, the thing is, like, the audiences, like I said, like, my mate doesn't even know who Monty Don is, which sort of blows my mind because I'm in, like, the industry, but anyone outside of it doesn't really know him. But you're right. I think TV nowadays is not the most, like, life has changed, isn't it? Yeah. Mm. Thank you, mate. The best TV advert in the past 5 years I've ever seen is by Brewdog. I don't know if you saw it. They did an advert. It was just a white screen with their logo on, with really rock music for 30 seconds. And you know why the reason that worked? Is because everyone in the adverts sits, as soon as the adverts come on, if you're being forced to watch them, sits on their phone. And the reason that advert worked is because it made you look up, because all you could see, all out the corner of your eyes, see is a white screen. It's the best advert I've ever seen, but you're right. Like, people's attention has changed. Yeah. Oh yeah, classic. Yeah. Funny that, isn't it? You're right though, 100%. Because I mean, what is this titled? The top. Oh, Hawke has ranked the UK's most influential garden TV presenters. Yeah. Yeah. They should do. Sure. With
a lot of people, and yeah, it's I saw this list briefly today, but yeah, I think they're missing the trick. I think they need to cast the net a bit wider, and they need to look at a greater diversity of people out there.
Yeah, definitely, man. Well, we in a couple of weeks' time are going to do our own list, mate.
Oh, fantastic!
So maybe next week we'll do it. We'll create our own influential list.
So do I get a bit of a discount as a VIP member, as the chap who 15 years ago got mycorrhizal fungi a name in UK garden centres and developed a whole trend in modern sustainable gardening? Do you reckon I get a shot?
I mean, we're doing the list, mate, so sure. But we all know who's going to be at number one instantly. So,
well, yeah,
you know it works.
Yeah, no worries, mate.
So yeah, interesting. It's an interesting list. I thought it was good to go through it tonight and just have a little look to see what they were thinking, because there's a few people in there. I just wondered, like, I don't know. Times have changed a little bit, maybe.
Definitely. I totally agree. Totally agree.
Nice one, Mark.
All right. Take care, mate.
Speak to that fella. Bye bye.
Cheers. Bye bye.
Mark. Oh, is he there? He's still on the line. He always forgets to turn. There he goes. Sorry about that. I know some of you missed some of that call, and it wasn't coming through. That's my fault, because I hadn't sorted out the microphone properly. So I'm sorry about that. That's Mark. We're just talking. Hey guys, come on in. We were just talking about the way we watch TV is very different, and we have done our very own influencer list before, haven't we? We've done our top 50. We should probably do it again maybe next week. We'll do it. We'll redo it after we've had a good old look through this one. Sorry, I didn't realise you couldn't hear the phone lines. Hopefully you can hear them now. The phone lines are open though. 0742 357 4520 if you have got an opinion. And this, the BBC need to get a gardening show aimed at newbie gardeners. Also open up to podcasters. Cheers, my friend. Cheers. Do you know what? I'd love to do a podcast for the BBC, a little bit different. And I don't know if it'll ever happen, but we will see. We can only try. But I think you're right. It would be really good to get. I did pitch this once to the BBC. I'll let you into a secret. I pitched 2 different ideas. One idea was a gardener's question time. Oh, by the way, Matt Biggs is on the show next Tuesday, team. If you want to watch that. Next Tuesday, Matt Biggs from Gardener's Question Time. But a young person's Gardener's Question Time. Because I was on Gardener's Question Time once. Not answering the questions, I should admit. But a young person's Gardener's Question Time. That is an actual podcast. I thought it was a brilliant idea. I went to Gardener's Question Time in Southend. And I think I possibly could have been, 100%, I was the youngest person there. Gardener's Question Time's a bit of an older audience, isn't it? Anyway, I pitched that idea. Nothing happened from it. And I also pitched a different Gardener's World to the Gardener's World producer. Didn't happen. Did not happen. Obviously, because I'm sat here chatting to you guys 2 hours every night. But you're right. The BBC need a garden show aimed at newbie gardeners and a podcast. I feel like they probably do need some more podcast materials on BBC Sounds for that sort of thing. That's where I first heard of you on Garden's Question Time, talking about your podcast. Really? Wow. That must have been a few years ago, Richie. Who would have thunk it? Who would have thunk it? I love doing that. That was all because of Bigsy. Bigsy got me in that little gig. But you're right. I do think the BBC need a show like that. I think it would be really successful. I think there's definitely an audience for it. But the biggest thing is that we don't actually, like, I'm here talking to you guys 4 nights a week because I wanted to do a show like this and I wanted to put it on radio. It obviously just doesn't happen that easy. It doesn't happen that simple. We're in a world now where we can do it ourselves. Let's do it ourselves, team. Right. So I hope you don't mind. We're here till 10 o'clock tonight. We're going to run through this. I know I said usually on Wednesdays we'll do like a kids gardening thing, which we generally will, but this come out today. So I thought we'd run through it. It's a subject, about media and about what you think. If you think other people in the ad break, there's other people that should be on this list. Maybe you've seen it, maybe you haven't. We're going to run through it, but maybe you've got someone that's influenced you. I know I've asked this question before the Suggs, expecting him to say me. He didn't say me. He said his granddad, which is better. But maybe you've got someone who's influenced you in gardening. You don't have to say me, Ian. You don't have to do that. Then put it in the comments throughout this ad break. Ian, you'll be very happy to know this is the last week you'll see the ads. Hey, what's going on? This stream and the podcast is sponsored by Flymo. Flymo, your life easy. My nan absolutely loves Flymo, and she was the one that first introduced me to Flymo, the brand Flymo, way back when I first got my new home, because she used Flymo in her garden. Then she bought my mum and dad a Flymo when they got their garden, and then when I got my garden, my nan bought me a Flymo. It's been in the family for years. I absolutely love it. They're such a great product. They're quality, they're affordable, and they think about how to make it easy for you to go cut the lawn, cut those edges, and do those gardening tasks. So flymo.com if you want to get your hands on some of their products, plus spend over £45 and you, yes you, dear listener, can get free delivery. Oh! Go check it out now, flymo.com. The Skinny Jean Gardener, How to Get Kids Gardening book, is available right now. That's right, in all good, well, on Amazon mainly, to be honest with you, on amazon.co.uk or .com, wherever you're in the world. Amazon, you
How to Get Kids Gardening is available right now. It's a $9.99. Oh yes, my self-published work, $9.99. Let's have a little flick to see what you could be doing. You could be making this wildflower seed balls. My favourite garden to make. A little bit messy for the kids, but brings some incredible colour to the garden. There's over 30 garden and makes inside this book that you can do with the family to get outside and enjoy whatever space you've got. Amazon.co.uk. How to Get Kids Gardening. Would you like to sponsor and support this stream? Yes, you. Actually, not you, but you. Yes, you. Have you got a product or service you'd like to advertise? Then this is the space for you. You get yours truly to advertise your product in a very, very unique way. Thanks very much. Plus, get it put in front of literally tens and tens of people. There's at least 12 people watching right now. Probably more. Probably. If you want to get your product or service in front of them, then this is the place to be. Free advert, a show, plus we'll talk about it a little bit after each advert, no doubt. That's free, that's 4 times a week, that's 12 times. Guys, 12 times. If you want to get involved, if you want to support the show, it's not as expensive as you think, guys. It's not expensive as you think. Lee at skinnyjeangardener.co.uk.
So pumped for Jan. We've already got one sponsor on board for that, so I'm very excited for Jan 2021. One guy, talking about influential people, one guy who has never influenced me once to do anything. Mr. Richard Suggett.
I'm Batman today.
Oh, wow, there you go, mate. Saving the world. Saving this show.
Yeah, saving this. Yeah, you said it, not me.
How are you, dude?
Yeah, I'm good. Yourself?
Yeah, good, man. Not too bad. I'm feeling good tonight. Feeling good.
Excellent. I just wanted to pick up on something that Stuart said about there being a TV program for newbie gardeners.
Yes.
And while I 100% agree that there does need to be something for newbie gardeners, like he said, I often feel that many shows are aimed at newbie gardeners, and it's something I conflict with myself on my podcast. Is that can I tell everyone how to grow or teach anyone how to grow vegetables when they're a newbie? But what if somebody's more experienced? How do we target those? And they just want to push themselves out a bit more. Let's say somebody who's been gardening for a couple of years.
Yeah, well, I suppose them sort of people would go on to like courses and stuff, right?
Would they? How many courses have you been on?
Well, none, mate, because I don't really like courses. But surely, if they really were into it already, that's what they go and do, right?
I don't know. If they're just into their gardening at home and they just want to. I mean, let's face it, gardeners don't like to spend money on anything.
Yeah, there's a garden program called Gardening A to Z, I think it's called. It's on Sunday mornings. I think it's on about 5 a.m. or something like that. Sometimes I see it unintentionally with, well, if you really like gardening, mate, then you need to get up at 5 and watch that. No, that's pretty good. There are programs out there that go into a bit more depth, and there has been before. You're right, though. TV doesn't massively do it. Gardener's World sort of goes over the same stuff each year. If you watch one season of that, then
yeah, I mean, I think that's pretty standard in anything garden related because the seasons are the same each year and you're doing the same tasks at the same time each year, which is related, especially something like Gardener's World, which is weekly during most of the year, although I feel it should be weekly all year round.
Yeah,
you are doing that same jobs that same time each year, so you are going to be. I mean, take planting garlic. I do that around this time every year. I talk about it, not because I haven't covered it before, but because it's happening at that time.
Yeah. Yeah, which I suppose is why the sort of makeover shows work, because it's a different garden each time, and it.
A different garden each time, and it's a very quick turnaround, isn't it? They can come into this garden with nothing, and in 2 days they've turned it into something spectacular.
Something, yeah.
It's like a microwave garden.
That's a very. I've never heard anyone call that before. But that's a very good way of thinking about it. I don't know, man. You've thrown me now because I have never thought about this about people that are really into gardening already.
And just yeah, I mean, I don't watch much TV, as you know, so I'm probably the wrong person to speak. I actually watched an episode of Gardener's World the other day, first time since we done our live show, and that was purely because of something that somebody asked me about. But I've got to say, I can't say as a experienced gardener I could take anything away from it or felt inspired to do anything really out there, apart from growing chia seeds or chia plants.
Sorry, chia?
Chia. Yeah, they spoke about that. Nick Knowles was on.
Nick Knowles?
Was it Nick Knowles? Oh, I forget his name.
Nick Knowles, the builder guy?
No, it wasn't him. I can't.
Nick Bailey?
That's it. Nick Bailey. Beg your pardon. You know what? I forget my wife's name, so it's not unusual to forget people's names.
Chia?
Chia, yeah. Which somebody came on and asked me about it, and I've had no experience growing chia. Didn't even know it was possible in this country.
I don't even know. You have to explain to me what chia is.
Right, chia. It's a little. Chia seeds are quite often. They're a health food. My wife eats it all the time. She tells me they're you can leave them in milk overnight, and they sort of become like frog spawn, but apparently taste quite good.
Mm-hmm.
But I think you're mainly after the seeds, and they're actually related to the mint plant, I've learned. So, as it should do quite well, looked after right here. But what I'd never heard of growing it in the UK. I did a bit of research about 2 years ago. Somebody developed a strain that could grow in the UK.
Right.
And then when I was in a cheap shop on Monday, it'll go unnamed. They happened to be selling a kids growing kit for chia.
Well, I'll be.
So I took that away from Gardener's World, dare I say it.
And from the cheap shop.
A cheap shop. Yeah.
What are the chances?
It was very much like that. What are the chances? I mean, in all honesty, if that person hadn't asked me about chia, I probably wouldn't have thought about it. And then she mentioned she'd watched it on Gardener's World.
Yeah, well, then maybe Gardener's World is dealing with that side of things.
Maybe, but it didn't go into much detail. It just.
I wish there was like an allotment program. I wish there was like an actual, like following someone's actual allotment. I know they do a little bit on Gardener's World with Francis now and again, don't they? But that's weird. I feel like there's a whole program in just following someone's allotment.
Yeah, I mean, do you remember? Well, you do remember the what was it? The Great British Allotment Off, or whatever it called it.
Arguably, yeah, the best gardening program that was idea that came about. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that didn't feel like it was a allotment program. It felt very much like let's put an allotment in a stately, on a state, all prim and proper. There was no dilapidated sheds. Everything was made to look perfect.
Yeah.
And those people who were attending it were only, from what I understand, went up there at the weekends or could only go on the weekends. They couldn't pop down during the week. Some had to travel some distance as well, so it wasn't that easy. But they had people coming in and looking after it in the meantime, doing the watering and stuff. So I didn't feel that really got what happens on allotments. And then when it came to the competition side of things, it felt very much like a village fete.
Yeah, there's bits that could have been twisted about a little bit. I agree with you.
Yeah.
But as a concept, I thought it was a nice idea.
As a concept, I thought little improvements, but then in some ways, the whole idea with an allotment or even gardening is quite slow, as we've discussed many times. Does that make for good TV?
No. But on the flip side, the other program around the same time that was showing allotments was called Allotment Wars.
Was there? I'd never heard of that.
Check it out, mate. Have you ever seen? I don't know. It was a classic, like Channel 5 sort of Neighbours from Hell sort of program.
Oh right, okay. God, that sounded posh out. Oh right.
Oh, jolly good. I checked that on the television.
Yeah, awesome.
So yeah, I don't know. I liked a big allotment challenge because it's sort of out. Obviously, Bake Off is a big one for bacon, right?
Yeah. If
Everyone tries to copy that, and I think out of all the gardening things that have tried to copy it, Big Allotment could have been, if they twisted and tinkled and winkled or whatever they call it about with it a little bit, then it could have been just as big as Bake Off, I think.
Well, what I felt the Big Allotment challenge needed was, instead of having a single site, they went to these people's allotments and filmed all the bits and said, right, you've got to grow, I don't know, this, and this, or these are the challenges later on. You've got your own plot of land on your own allotment that you have anyway. You go and work that. The camera crew will be down on these days, and these days. But then on these days, you've got to be here with your produce to do the next part.
In the tent, mate. They just wanted that tent feel. They just wanted that bake off sort of feel to it, didn't they? But I don't know. I wish I got on that program because I think it would have been funny, but it didn't happen. But I thought it was out of all the things, because I don't know if you've seen recently on Netflix, they brought that new one out. The big, I don't know, just put big in front of anything and it usually works. Like the big flower arrangement competition.
I did see something about that on Netflix. Now you say that, haven't sat down to watch it because my iPad's playing up for Netflix. So
well, it's all right. I mean, if I don't know if I can get away with watching an episode on here one Thursday, but because it's so new, but it was all right. It was not bad.
There's a film on Netflix as well, I've been told to watch, called Kiss the Earth or something like that. Yeah. Which is all about the earth and the soil where we grow in, and that a lot of the no diggers are saying it got to go watch it because it's meant to be quite good.
Oh, we'll find out what that's called. We'll find out tomorrow what that's called.
Yeah, we'll look into that.
But yeah, man, I don't know. I mean, maybe it needs to be both. Maybe it needs to be maybe Gardener's. Well, maybe Gardener's World just needs to change a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, we've spoke about that many, many times, and I it doesn't appeal to me, and I think that's the wrong thing to say as a gardening podcaster, because Gardener's World is the pinnacle. Should Gardener's World change to bring in a younger audience? I don't know, but I feel Gardener's World perhaps could do a young version of Gardener's World for a younger audience.
2 years, mate. Frosty will come on. It will change things.
Yeah. Was it Toby Buckland when he done it? He changed things up, and it didn't go down well.
Didn't go down well because he was replacing Monty.
Right.
Then he got tucked up because then Monty said he'd come back. I don't know. Obviously, Monty felt better.
Right.
And Toby got the shove, which is a shame, really. But he tried changing it around. They got an allotment. It still exists.
Sorry?
The allotment still exists.
Right.
The BBC, someone might tell me different, probably Sean if he's about, but the BBC own the allotment that Toby started. And now, if you go there, I think you can look it up, or maybe I'll have a look in a minute. It is overgrown and there's nothing left of it.
Sounds like a typical allotment then.
I think this one's proper overgrown. Walked away from it. Still own it, but they've walked away from it.
So they've actually got the land there ready to go.
While you're on the line, just wait there. Let me just find it. Right. Gardener's World allotment. I don't want to say something that's not I don't want to get sued or anything just from this. That would be my luck.
Yeah, I'll just
Monty will be
sit and wait.
watching them. Monty will probably watch them, and he'll say, "See, now I feel like I made it up, but I'm sure it was a thing." Wait there. It's whole caller.
Okay, I'm waiting.
Come Well, if I can find it, I'll find it. They've lost the plot. Here we go. Oh, found it. Here we go.
Found it. Excellent.
Right. Oh, back in 2011 it was. Not that recent. Not that recent. They've lost the plot. BBC under fire after Gardener's World site goes... Hang on. Goes to seed since Monty Don replaced Toby Buckland. And there's a picture of it abandoned. It actually doesn't look that bad now. Oh, no. Back in 2011 it don't look too bad. But...
Right.
But I'm sure they still own it now. That was back in 2011, but I'm sure it's in a pit. Anyway, that's whatever.
Yeah. You're going to share the picture with everyone?
No.
No.
I don't know if I can. My stream looks like it's falling.
I was going to say, it does look like it's struggling a bit. I thought it was mine.
No, it's mine. It can't handle the Daily Mail website. I'm just crashing.
Okay.
I'm crashing. Let's leave it.
Okay. I'll look into it anyway.
Look into it. Yeah. Hey, man, check it out. Oh dear. So there we go. Yeah, I don't know what we were just saying, but yeah, I reckon it will change. There should change. Things need to change.
Yeah, I mean, change is always going to be a difficult one, as we expressed with Toby Buckland taking over from Monty. Does that mean when Adam Frost takes over and he changes things, is that going to go down well and people are going to...
I think it will, because he's got a bit of quite a big following now, because he's sort of almost like he's done the legwork before. I don't know if Toby just rocked in. I don't know how that worked.
Yeah, don't know.
It was a long time ago. But Mark made a good point earlier that things are changing. Like people like us, mate, hanging about, doing our thing.
Trendsetters.
Influence them.
Trendsetters, I say.
Trendsetters? You're wearing a Batman t-shirt.
There'll be a Batman film out in a couple of years' time. Everyone will be wearing it.
Oh, dude. Right, dude. You're on tomorrow. You're on the show tomorrow.
I'm on. I wasn't going to call in, but I just felt Stuart's comment. I had so much to say on that. I had to get in because it's something we discuss at length quite often.
See if you can hear this, Richard, because I've got someone just phoned in. I think it's Mark again.
Yeah, well, I was wondering if we can have a three-way conversation if Richard's going to stay on.
We can. He's got his thumbs up. He's ready to go.
I can hear you.
Oh,
can
cool.
you hear me?
Kiss the Ground is the Netflix documentary which Richard was just referring to. I've just Googled it and it looks amazing.
Kiss the Ground.
Yeah, I've yet to watch it, but I've heard a lot about it.
And the reason why Toby Buckland took over from Monty Don so quickly is Monty suffers from SAD, seasonal affective disorder, and it was a really rough year for him. And he basically said, I can't kind of do this. Can somebody step in? And then that was what I heard anyway.
Yeah, and then he got better, right? And then they just brought him back in and dumped Toby.
Yeah, the ratings went down massively, which I think was a big issue. I mean, when Toby was on there, he tried to do the cool wall, which Top Gear did, which is what is hot and what is not. I reckon there's room for an awful lot of different gardening programs. I mean, what one sort of like thing I'm thinking about is why don't the BBC do a year in the life of the allotment? They've done similar sort of things where it does a 12-month period, and it's all kind of nice and touchy-feely and beautifully shot, but it shows how allotment is. They could pick one allotment, maybe one close to Richard's, and just show the personal stories of people, how they grow. You can have the old professionals, you can have the newbies, you can have the people that have got busy lives and they're struggling to keep on top of it. There's room for a program like that.
almost like The Only Way is Essex, allotment style.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
why not?
actually a good way of putting it.
That's
I
actually a
think.
good pitch there, right there.
There we go. And perhaps instead of it being one person's allotment, 4 people from different parts of the country.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea. So it'd be really interesting because I feel like there's nothing that actually gets to see an allotment apart from if you're on YouTube. There's nothing on telly to see an allotment from start to finish.
Exactly. Yeah.
And how popular are the YouTube channels on allotments? They're very popular.
Well, yeah, exactly. Look at it, mate.
Yeah.
And there's also room for. I mean, I think there should probably be, especially since lockdown, because so many more people have started gardening, and there should maybe be probably 4 new programs. I mean, Gardeners World is, the RHS Garden magazine, and then we need 2 or 3 other magazine type programs. One for the new guys, one for the mid range that are really into it. I don't know, your garden influencer. Did they have Bob Flowerdew on there? Because he's an amazing organic gardener. Which he's a complete nutter. That's why I love him.
He's not on there, but you're right. He should be because
is he on TV?
He's on there. He is on there. I was gonna say, because if anyone's done anything for Wien on on compost heaps, then he's done the most influence in there.
Yeah, definitely.
Definitely.
More budget. That's what they need. Just pump more budget. I think we need 4 gardening shows on the BBC, and
you never know. Like, you're right. This year feels like a really big year for getting new gardeners in. You never know. Right now, while we're talking, someone could be sitting there and saying, that handsome guy right now with the Batman t-shirt is the guy we need.
Definitely, yeah. I mean, the guy with the haircut is not quite as good, but yeah, the Batman t-shirt, definitely we need it on that.
Well, the second person
I'm liking this tonight.
I wish I got a haircut last Friday. I've gone into bloody self-isolation recently, so I can't get my haircut.
Mate, do you want me to come over? I can do it for you.
Oh, brilliant. My wife did it last time.
Well,
no problem. Yeah, it's a day.
I brought myself a pair of hair clippers just in case.
Okay, mate.
Yeah, mate.
I'll speak to you soon.
Oh, dear.
Just one thing before I go, though, is Mark mentioned, I don't think he could hear me, so but Mark mentioned about TV shows going on during lockdown, and there was Alan Titchmarsh's new program that started. I can't remember what it was called now. I watched one episode. I meant to watch the rest, and I forgot about it.
They were right, weren't they?
They were, yeah. I mean, the one episode I saw, I was quite impressed, considering it was the time, with everyone that was right in the epicenter of a lockdown, if I remember right, and he's struggling to do anything. So I thought it was perfect for that. But there was one thing I took away with it. There's one of the presenters said, "Oh, we bought a brand new bed. It was only 80 quid." And I sort of thought 80 quid is a lot of money to spend on a bed.
Domini said that, mate.
I didn't want to name names, but yeah.
No, I'll name him. I'm not going to shame him because he's never coming on this podcast. David, if you're watching Domini, he won't be watching. He's on next week.
I just felt that was a bit of a... 80 quid, that's more than most people earn in a day.
Yeah, you're not the first person to reference that exact thing to me. Someone else has said that to me over this period of time because, you're right, man. Like 80 quid it's a lot of dosh, isn't it? It's not. It's not something he sniffed at. It's that could have been better. One thing I give Dominic a lot of jip. One thing I did like he was doing was great. He grew some pumpkins in his compost heap.
Must have heard my podcast and taken that tip from that.
No doubt he did, mate.
Yeah, mine are looking great. I've got the Crown Prince. I've got about 3 of them outside at the moment, out in the garden. You can have a look at them tomorrow.
Can't wait. Can't wait. Suggett, we'll see you tomorrow.
Yep, have a good one.
See that, fella?
Cheers, mate.
Right, before the next break, we are going to get through this list tonight, team. But you can call in 0742 357 4520. I asked you in the last break, who your garden influencers were. Ian says, my granddad also got me interested, but I suffered bad hay fever and watched from outside his greenhouse. Richard and yourself have encouraged me to get into it, and I have outgrown the sneezing. That's good. I used to have do you know what? I had awful hay fever, and it just sort of just disappeared. Maybe because I started doing more gardening. But yeah, that's cool. That's Stuart says. I'll put it on the screen. Sorry, that's from Ian. Stuart says, my dad was the person who introduced me into gardening, but not to have a garden. It was to raise money. But now, thanks to you and Sugget, cheers, mate, I grow vegetables at home and school. So thanks, boys. Sugget. Influencer, guys. Influencer. Is Katie Carrot playing hide and seek in the podding shed? Oh, is that? I didn't see Sug's Carrot. Is it called Katie Carrot? Huh? Would love to see the gardens a year later. Yeah, that's true. I wish they did. They don't really do that, do they? Do they do that much? They don't, do they? You know how like George Clark does his amazing spaces in there, or like Kevin McLeod comes back to see. You don't really get to see that. That's pretty much a whole program there again, isn't it? What happened to the Blue Peter Garden? Well, it's still going, but it got moved. Chris Collins moved it. He moved it from London all the way up to Salford. Salford. Up your way, actually, Ian. Moved it up there. Not all of it, but part of it's up there now with an allotment, which you know the story. My daughter has grown stuff this year for the first time this year. A lot of people have started this year. That's what I'm saying. So I feel like this could be the year that something could quietly be going on in the background right now. Something quietly could be going on. Planning for next year. The biggest problem with TV shows, come away from the list at the moment, we'll get back onto that in the next hour. The biggest problem, because we need to, because I'm at number 48. The biggest problem with the list with the TV shows is they need to be filmed pretty much a whole year and then it will come out. So say if they film next year, they'd film it. Although things could change now, the way they've turned around stuff because of lockdown. Film it and it'll come out in like 2022. Generally how it works. But it could change. It could change. Like you said, Titchmarsh brought one out with his wife with his mobile phone. So what if I can get Olive just to hold a mobile phone to get me on telly? I don't know. Is it still in Salford? Yeah, it's still up there. Little green fingers George. I think it's about 15 now. Green fingers 15. Little green fingers George. He looks after it now. Up in Salford. Amazing space at Media City. Right, let's have an ad break and let's get back to the list if you fancy it. Like I say, comment away. Let me know who your garden influence was that got you green fingered. This stream and the podcast are sponsored. 10 extra points if you say me. This stream and the podcast are sponsored by Flymo. Flymo.com. I'm going to tell you a little story about Vince. Vince came into my home and basically took over all of it, not all, but the biggest gardening task, which I'll be honest with you, took a little bit of time because usually I'm away. I'm jet setting from Birmingham to Devon, all over the country, which means that when I come home, the first task I've got to do is my lawn. Now, Vince came along and we welcomed him to the family, and now I feel like he's taken over my position in this household, which is not good. Vince, I should add, is my robotic lawnmower. Oh yes, Flymo's robotic lawnmower. Literally, you set it up. There's an app on your phone. You set it up, and every day, all week, however you want to do it, Vince, or the robotic, you can call it what you want, but ours is called Vince, goes out and cuts your lawn. Oh, made so simple. Go check it out right now at flymo.com. Spend over 45 quid, you get free delivery. You can't say better than that, can ya? So yeah, go check it out. Get your own Vince. Have you heard? I've got a brand new book. It's not brand new. I know that. It was out in February. But to you, it may be brand new. How to Get Kids Gardening is available right now on amazon.co.uk. Let's have a little flick to see what great gardening makes over 30 that you could be doing as a family. Maybe you could be making stone and spoon markers, because we all know that labelling up your seeds as you put them into the soil is very important. If not, you've got no idea what's popping through when the little green shoot. That could be anything, couldn't it? Make some stone markers. Really simple, really easy, and really inexpensive. All the gardener makes in here, just literally, the costs hardly anything. I don't know how I can say that. Hardly anything, mate. Hardly anything. Come on around. How to Get Kids Gardening. Amazon. Come on out round. Would you like to support and sponsor this stream? Then you can. You can get your product or service in front of people like Richard from Littlehampton or Sean from London, even Lisa in Northern Ireland. Yeah, we're Mr. Worldwide. I think we've got some people from Australia as well. So if you're from Australia, this is the place to be. If you want to support or sponsor the stream, then please get in contact at lee@skinnyjeangardener.co.uk, and your advert could be at this point right now. What's going on, everyone? Welcome. Can I have a 10% discount on Flymo for saying you? I mean, you can try it. Just say Lee said. Message him. Just say Lee said you give me a 10% discount by saying the word Skinny Jean Gardener, and probably would. They probably would. Don't everyone do that? If you asking me and online, no jeans tonight, guys, in shorts. If you ask online, they probably would. Right, anyway, away from that. Tonight we're talking top 50 influential TV gardeners. There's a list that's gone up with Hawk Weekly, and tonight we're talking about that. In the comments, let me know who influenced you. You don't have to say me, it was a joke. Influenced you to get into gardening. We got up to, let's have a little look back on the list right now. By the way, guys, team, how are we doing? VIP crew, just need to send them VIP cards out tomorrow. If you fancy sharing this stream, that'd be really cool. Let people know about it. Let your mum know about it. Your nan know about it. Let your friends know about it. Say, hey, I watch your show 2 to 3 to 4 times a week. You should too, if you want influencing to buy a Flymo. Right, let's get back on to this. Here we go. The top 50 has been announced. So let's have a little look. I've just seen someone's name, which I'm happy is on there. We're going to talk about them in a sec. We've got to get through this in an hour. We've only got halfway down. So Dominique, Love Your Garden, and Saturday Morning... James Martin took it from me, Dominique. Took it from me. Is on there. Charlie Dimmock, just thinking about Dimmock. Away from Garden Rescue, we watched a Ground Force episode last week, and if that wasn't influence enough with Titchmarsh, that's probably a bigger influence than Garden Rescue has ever been. Ground Force, guys. Watching another episode tomorrow. Then Ara, then David, then Rachel DeTame, again for Gardener's World. To be honest, I've not really seen too much of her on that show. Then or done anything else, I'm not sure. You guys might be able to correct me on that. Frances Tophill, I love Frances. I absolutely love Frances. For Love the Garden and Gardeners World. Yeah, really like that. She does some bits for Allotments in a little bit as well, which is really great. And it's a really nice person. So, yeah, definitely should be on there. Joe Swift, again, really nice geezer. I think he does a lot. Bits he does for Chelsea is really funny. Brings a bit of humour to it. And Carol Klein, the legend that is Carol Klein, who is that girl that pops up on Garden Rescue when Charlie isn't on? That girl is Arrett Anderson. That is who pops up on there. What? I mean, where's Charlie? Anyway, what important occasion is Charlie up to that she can't even come to her own? Arrett, you don't mind just filling in for us? About. Then, after that, we've got George Anderson. I've never... Oh, here's an admission. Is this bad admission? Probably not. I've never seen Beech Grove Garden. Sometimes James Cameron comes on it, doesn't he? And talks to me about... I've never seen an episode. Ever. I don't really know. But it's on there, which is fair enough. Then Christine Walkden, The One Show. I know she does The One Show. What's that the biggest thing she's ever done, is it? Also for Gardener's Question Time. She's a lovely person. And yeah, I think she does some great stuff as well. She does stuff on The One Show, sure, but not gardening. Buckland's on here. Chelsea, ex-Gardener's World they've put on there. It's a bit out of order, isn't it? Can't write that. I like Buckland though. He's chirpy. He's chirpy. So get him on. He's chirpy. Nick Bailey's on there for Gardener's World. Well, he influenced... Hey, guys, he influenced the influencer with Suggs. Dermot Gavin. I've seen a few times Dermot walking around showground stuff. What was that program that he did once? What was that? Does anyone know what Dermot Gavin... There was a program he did, and that it wasn't... What program they put him down for? Gardening Together. I have no idea what Gardening Together is. But that is not what Dermot Gavin is known for, right? What show is he known for? Was he on like some sort of Ground Forcey sort of program once? Because I'm sure back in the heyday he was on a program that we used to sit and watch together as a family. What was that program? I do not want to Google that. But I might have to if no one in the comments can tell me. He was on a program, wasn't he? I mean, some of these people, I'm not being horrible. Not necessarily on, I mean, I'm not on TV at all. Not necessarily on TV a lot to be influencers. No one knows what that program is. I've sat and waited for your comments. No one knows. No one knows what that program is. Oh, I'm going to have to look at it. I don't know. Wait there. Dermot Gavin. Dermot. I'm going to copy. Where was his name? Dermot Gavin. I need to know what program that was that I used to watch that he was on. Dermot Gavin. We'll go on to the well-known. Let's just have a look. Dermot Gavin. Dermot Gavin. Hang on. Home front. That's not it. No, he did something else. I don't know him just from Virgin Gardeners. Nope. Dermot's Big Adventure. Nope. The Great British Garden Revival. Nope. Wow. I can't remember what show it was. Homefront. Gardens Through Time. No. Dermot's Big Advent. No. Planet Patio. Planet Patio. Or maybe it was just for Gardens as well, but I'm sure he was on something else. I'm sure he was on something else. Did you ever see 1940s House? That was a good gardener thing, a bit like a veggie garden. No, I didn't see that 1940s House. So they live like in their 1940s. I'm guessing this it wasn't actually in the 1940s, was it? Here we go. Here's a person that might know, Lisa. Right. Welcome to the show, Lisa. You're an hour late, but it doesn't matter because you could save us here, right? Lisa, do you know, right? Do you know Dermot Gavin? That's not the question. Do you know what program he used to be on? Late 90s, 2000s. Because I remember watching him on a program and I can't remember what it was called. Can't remember. Also, Ian wants to know if you ever watched 1940s House. No idea what that is. But it had a good veggie garden in it. Anyway, tonight we're going through the top 50. What's it called? The top 50 most influential 50 active gardening presenters. And we'll come to exactly why at the end of the list. Right, let's have a little look through. Right, anyway, Dermot Gavin, if anyone knows what program he was on, apart from Gardening Together, let me know. Chris Beardshaw. Was Chris Beardshaw on Big Beach Grove Garden? Is that where he's from? I had no idea. Katie Rushworth, Love Your Garden. I like her on there. I like her on there. What else does she do apart from Love Your Garden? I'm not sure. Mark Lane's a nice guy. He's good. Probably, I'll always rate him. We've had him on the show before. Danny Clark. I rate Danny Clark. And I'm not going to bang on about him too much because I always do. But Danny Clark should be up there higher. 100%. I feel like his agent sometimes should be up on that list higher. I'm telling you now, the best. We talk about garden programs. I always mention the Instant Gardener has to be the best. The best garden program BBC ever done. He's the Irish gardener, isn't he? Yeah, the Irish one, Dermot Gavin. Do you know what program he's been on? Anyway, Danny Clark needs to go up higher, in my own opinion. Big fan over him. Just so everyone knows, Lisa Hurst in the 1940s. I'm going to have to watch that now. Oh, that's what I was thinking earlier when we were in that mid-call. Right, team, everybody, quick meeting, team. Quick meeting. Earlier on, something was mentioned about a Netflix program. When Richard was on, he mentioned a Netflix program. And Mark mentioned it. What was it called? Because I'm thinking, over the weekend, a little bit of homework, we can all sit and watch it, and then maybe, a bit like a book club, on Monday, we can review it. Huh? Anyone? Any takers for that? Literally starting our own gardening, not book club, because I could not read a book that quickly in a weekend, but I could watch a program. What was that? What was that called? Kiss the Ground on Netflix. Don't have to remember it right now. Kiss the Ground. And on Monday, like a book club, we'll review it. Oh, Lisa's already seen it. A star for you, Lisa. Nice work. Already seen it. Right. Kiss the Ground. I'm watching it this weekend. So Monday's show, we'll be reviewing it. Should we go back to the list? What was I saying about the list? Let's get back to that list. Oh, yeah. Anyway, Danny Clark, legend. Legend in the house. Then we go on to who's this? Hang on. Juliet Sergeant. Now you're going to absolutely say, what? What? You don't know who Juliet? I don't know who Juliet Sergeant is. Oh, I'm sorry. I don't know Juliet Sergeant. She's a British garden designer. In 2016, Anti-Slavery, The Modern Slavery Garden was the first show garden by a female black gardener to be exhibited at the Chelsea Flower Show, where it won RHS Gold Medal. I didn't know she... Let's have a look. Juliet, what have you been up to? Well, what program was it for anyway? Chelsea. I thought we were doing presenters. Maybe not. Okay, cool. I don't know, Juliet. I can't. Actually, I did see the garden. It was a decent garden. 2016, though. Was I about in 2016? Wasn't that long ago, actually. 4 years. 4 years goes fast, doesn't it? Right, let's move on anyway. Alice Fowler. Oh, yeah. Ex-Gardener's World presenter. Did she ex-Gardener's World? I'm not saying she didn't do Gardener's World, but yeah. Alice Fowler, okay. Up there. The Wongster James Wong is on there. I blocked Wong. Actually, I forgot about Wong. It's amazing when you can block people on Twitter. It's just annoying me. Influencing me by annoying me. Anyway, James Wong there. I suppose he's done a lot for house plants on the tally. Any Wong fans in the audience? Any Wong fan? Let's continue. Then we've got Carol Baxter, Beech Grove. Again, I'm not sure if you watch Beech Grove. I'm sorry. We've got Carol Baxter, Brian Cunningham, Kirsty Wilson, all Beech Grove garden presenters. I don't watch Beech Grove. Is there any Beech Grove fans in the house? Yo, this is a call out for Beech Grove Gardens. Yo, what's going on? Beech Grove, what's happening? It's Wednesday night. You a Beech Grove fan? Yeah, let's do it. Okay. Put your hands up if you're a Beech Grove. Quiet in text. By the way, the phone lines are open. 0742 357 4520. And look at me. I've just gone over Alice. She has a really good gardening program, Alice, on how to transform her garden growing and giving her dinner every night from her garden. Has she? What's it called? Let me have a look at this. Alice Fowler. Let's see what this program's called. Because met Alice once. Oh, I've met her a few times. Actually, kept bumping into each other. She's not a nice person. We didn't really chat too much. I think. Not really sure if our brains connect quite as well. A lot of people feel like that probably about me. The Thrifty Gardener. I've seen it. Thrifty Gardener. Oh, is that a book? Oh, these are all books. You guys can't see this. Oh, Great British Garden Revival. I bet it's Allotments. Ramina's writing, didn't she? Oh, here we go. Oh, she was job by BBC in 2006. Same time. Oh, she went with Toby Buckland. That's a shame, isn't it? Anyway, you guys can't actually read what I'm reading, so sorry about that. But yeah, I think Alice is good. I've not massively seen loads of her work, but you know, these are just my own opinions because I only watch my own stuff. But yeah, I think she'd probably be on there. Yeah, sure. Then we go on to the legend that is Peter Seabrook. Peter? Who mentioned Peter Seabrook a minute ago? Ian said Peter Seabrook. Look at that. Peter Seabrook. How old is Peter Seabrook now? It's called The Edible Garden. Oh, yeah, I remember seeing The Edible Garden once. Peter Seabrook. If this is Peter Seabrook, it would be amazing.
Hello, Peter Seabrook here.
Actually, sounds like Peter Seabrook. Is it? It's not Peter Seabrook, is it?
It is, yes.
Hey, Peter.
Great show, great show.
I'm guessing you're watching on Twitch.
Down with the kids, down with the kids.
I don't actually know who this is.
Peter Seabrook.
Oh, it actually is Peter Seabrook. What you up to now, Peter Seabrook? 84 years old?
Oh, can still kick it in the garden.
Yeah, well, you want to be careful. Yeah. Well, thanks for calling in, Peter. It's amazing to hear from you. You been up to much?
Ex-Pebble Mill.
Say again?
Still available for TV work.
Oh, yeah, ex-Pebble Mill. Oh, yeah. I've not seen Pebble Mill. Was it a good one, was it?
It was better when I was on it.
Sure. Is it still going, is it?
No.
No.
Finished in the 80s.
Oh, yeah. Wow. Of course. You're 84. You've been around for a long time. Anything new coming up?
No.
No. Okay.
I'll be dead soon.
Okay. Well, thanks for calling in, Peter.
All the best.
Oh, see you later, mate. Wow. There we go. I'm not actually sure who that was. Could have been Peter. That would have been made a really nice clip at the final comment not been made. Hello?
Oh, hi, we're phoning from Beech Grove.
Oh, hey there, Beech Grove.
We're phoning from Beech Grove. Carol Baxter here.
Who?
Carol Baxter, Beech Grove.
Carol Baxter.
Than you.
Oh, very deep voice, Carol. But how are you doing?
It's a frosty day up here in Glasgow.
Just can't pinpoint your accent, Carol.
Oh, hi.
Oh, that's it. Oh, yeah, Scottish.
Aye.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Have a wee dram in the night. I do.
There we go. We're in it now. Wow, thanks for calling in, Carol. I'm sorry I've never watched your program.
It's all right. Nobody else does.
Oh, okay. Very well. You're on the list, so congrats.
Oh, hi.
Yeah. Okay.
How are you doing?
Oh, it's not Carol.
It's Sean James Cameron.
Yeah. Cameron, yeah, of course. We all know it was. How you doing, mate?
Just to give you a bit of an update. Juliet Sergeant.
Yeah.
Last time I was with her was back in 2015. It was her, me, and Sue Biggs, you might know her, head of the RHS.
Yeah, I've heard of her.
And Juliet was actually pitching to have a garden at the show for the following year, but she ended up also presenting some items for the Chelsea week, so that's why she's included.
Back in 2016, though.
Yes. And Dermot Gavin, he presented a small, 4-minute slot within Homefront on BBC Two, and he then was given a spin-off show called Homefront in the Garden.
No, that ain't the program I watched him on.
And that's the program that made him famous.
What did he do in Homefront in the Garden? What did he actually do?
He did the garden in the front of the home.
What? He just What he did? You mean he just did a makeover on it?
Yes, but it was a very high-end show to match sort of, like the Chelsea interiors of the house.
I'm sure that's not
So
what
it wasn't
I've
a
seen him on.
changing rooms thing. It was I think they spent like a week there.
He didn't used to do like DIY SOS or something, did he?
No, he wouldn't be that lowbrow.
Oh, mate. Oh, well, I can't remember what I saw him on.
And it was through that show that he did some of the wacky designs, and that's what then led into flying balls at Chelsea and that pod. I don't know if you ever went on that pod where you went into this pod and this crane took you up in the air, and it didn't feel safe at all because you thought if a gust of wind comes and the crane goes over, we're all going down.
Yeah. Did you go on it? Did you?
Once, and that was enough.
Yeah, brave, mate. Brave. No, I'll leave that to David.
But that's the good thing about going to Chelsea on the Monday is you can actually go in the gardens.
Mm. Yeah, well, no, I wouldn't go on that crane. No chance.
But I'm surprised by this list.
That you're not on
in
it?
the sense of I can understand some people why they're on there, but I can't understand, like, a lot of the Beach Grove crew are people that have only been on there for like less than a year. So I'd be very interested what the author of this article, Matthew Appleby's criteria is.
Well,
it can't be based on social media followings because some of the people at the end of the list. Whew.
Highbrow. We're coming to that at the end of the show. That's the only the real highbrow people got on it. Hello, called up.
Yeah, so I thought when I tuned in, because I've already tuned in because I've been watching proper TV shows. I tuned in and I thought maybe you were giving out the list for the Garden Media Guild.
No, we're not going.
That's why I had to get my phone because I can't believe they're on the list. I've been on TV for 10 years.
Well, no, we're not doing that, mate. I wouldn't put Beach Grove on because I've never even seen them. But we will be doing an awards at some point, probably in January.
Beach Grove is good. It's just this year they've let themselves down because of the situation that we're in.
You weren't happy about their efforts, were you?
Well, they basically just allowed the presenters to film themselves. Some of them worked. I can't remember his name now, but the older gentleman that's on there, he filmed on his allotment, and that worked so well. I think they should actually keep something like that. But
just that,
when you have somebody who hasn't got a garden and she ends up filming in her house, at the start of the series, she didn't have a single house plant. Now the house is bursting at the seams with house plants.
She don't know what to do. She's got James Bond coming around every 2 weeks to water them for
her.
Yeah. Yeah, I've never seen.
I'm late tuning in because actually tonight's episode of Charlie Dimmock and the Rich Brothers was actually quite good.
Yeah, you're not the first to say that. I think Ian said it was a good one. I didn't realise what time's it on in the evenings.
7:30.
Oh, that's why I miss it. That's why I missed it.
I should dig out of the archive because I was the first person to ever interview the Rich Brothers. So I have an interview with them from about 2014.
Right, dig it out, and I'll just put my voice in front of it, and then that'll sort it.
At BBC Gardener's World, and what's very interesting from what I can recall from memory, their accent in 2014 is completely different to what their accent is now.
Well, if we ever get them on, we'll have them up for that, mate.
Anyway, I will let you get on to the bottom of the list. Who would have believed that a dog would have gone on?
I don't like calling myself that, but I know, yeah.
Well, you mentioned a few dogs so far.
See you later.
Yeah.
Bye, mate. God's sake. You can't trust him. You can't trust him to come on. Some of you have been talking in the group. Oh, dear. Okay, we'll come. Oh, Dan's just top up today. How are you doing, Dan? Good evening, my friend. I could even just finish a 13-hour shift, now time to relax for 5 minutes, and watch the rest of your podcast. Cheers, my man. Cheers, dude. We've got 13 hours. Sometimes this 45 minutes feels like 13 hours, my friend. No, I'm only joking. Right. Carl, your VIP card's on its way. Ian watches at 3:45. Well, let's get back to this list. Thanks so much for calling in, Sean. If you want to call in, you've got someone that you think should be on the list or has influenced you. It's 0742 357 4520 tonight. Or I will put this link in the comments too. You can click on that and you can be zapped into the conversation here on the stream. Let's go back into the list and see where we're up to on here. So Peter Seabrook, 84 years old, called in tonight. Thanks, Peter, for calling in. 84 years. Wow. I don't know if I'd still be about in 84 years. Quite key. Then we've got Mr. Michael Perry, QVC, this morning. I give Perry a right. I edited a podcast today with Perry. What did I do? Oh, no, I sorted a video out today with him in. And he is everywhere at the moment. And I actually texted him the other day. I watched him on this morning. He did a bit about composting. And I watched it afterwards. And I thought it come across really well. I just thought I need to message him. And not say, you're brilliant. I love it. I love it, Perry. I just thought, where it's due, mate. It's good. It's good the way it explains stuff. It's here you go. Sug says, Mr. Plant Michael Perry should be higher up on the list. His weird and wacky plants is inspiring. I mean, honestly, I thought he was really good, without fanboying him too much. Then I've been off Twitter for a bit. I've just been off Twitter. Oh, crikey. This is dangerous, isn't it? I blame myself for Perry. I have a story. Oh, crikey. Look out. Then I saw recently on Twitter that he was on that Channel 4 program. And he does his QVC thing as well. So I think away from the podcast and his YouTube stuff that he dips in and out of, what he's doing on telly it makes a difference. I think the way he explains things and does make a difference. I do think he should be up there. Hopefully he's not watching now because it will give him too much for a big head, but he should be up there with Titchmarsh and Don and Frosty, really. Don't say I said that to him. Don't tell him. Below Perry is Roy Lancaster, who I put on Twitter. I bet Roy Lancaster's not even been on didn't say it like that. Even been on Sunday brunch, but Roy Lancaster. Again, 83 years old, Roy. I suppose he has to be on there as CBE, Roy is. I don't know about this list now. I feel like I'm all over the place with it because is it most influential now or just most influential of all time? I don't know. Chris Collins is next. Blue Peter. I love Chris. We had on the podcast a while ago. I really want to get him back on to talk about kids gardening. I'm going to message him and get him back on in a few weeks' time, perhaps. But really nice guy, Chris. He's Blue Peter days. He was the gardener I watched when I used to watch Blue Peter. But really nice guy. There's a lot for kids gardening. His heart's right in it with that. So yeah, Chris Collins. Then Pippa Greenwood for Gardener's Question Time, and Matthew Wilson, Gardener's Question Time. Wasn't this? I mean, I suppose they do actually. I do TV stuff as well. I was gonna say, wasn't this TV? James Alexander Sinclair, The Great Chelsea Garden Challenge, Celebrity Eggheads. he's done more than that. He's just done that Netflix thing. It's Celebrity Eggheads. I don't know why that tickled me so much. Out of all the things. Out of all the things he could be on there for is Celebrity Eggheads. That's funny. I think that was his best thing he's ever done as well. I really do. His best piece of work. Matty Biggs is on underneath James Alexander Sinclair. Then the man that weighs pretty much all over the allotment, Bob Flowerdew, is under that. Matt Biggs, by the way, if anyone doesn't know, next Tuesday coming on the show. Very excited about that. Yeah, Bob. I've only met Bob once. Interesting character. But nice guy. Nice guy. I can't read under that. Who's next? Chris Baines. I'm not sure. I don't know who Chris Baines is. I apologise, Chris, if you're watching. Chris Baines. Let me have a look. Let me have a look at you, Chris Baines. Arms. Oh, gosh. 73. I apologise, Chris Baines, but your Wikipedia says you've not been on telly since 2000. Do we miss an ad break, by the way? Oh, I don't care anymore. It doesn't matter tonight. You already know. Flymo, your life easy. I'll do a live read. Yo, if you want to buy a Flymo, go and buy a Flymo. Pretty decent tools. This is why I don't do the adverts live. Strimmer with a battery pack's good. I'm just looking at stuff. Strimmer, the blower. Anyway, Flymo, really great tools. Go check them out. New Ski Engineering Yard book is not new anymore. It's actually 8 months old, but it's still an awesome book to get for Christmas. Ho, ho, ho. Ski Engineering Gardener is here for your Christmas present. Ski Engineering Gardener book. And what was that? Oh, if you want to sponsor the show, then please do. I think it's the one with the pen. Like, if you want me to say, hey, do you want to buy this pen? Buy this pen. There's the adverts. Right. Here you go. The book is really good. Where is it? Not my words, but the words of Lisa Marie. Thanks, Lisa. Right, what was I up to? Right, Chris Baines. Okay, all right, Chris, you've got in there. Bunny Guinness is here. We go. Hello.
This stream and the podcast are sponsored.
I was going to play you the. It's gone. Yeah, this list. Where's Terry Walton?
I don't know. I was thinking that. I don't know
because he's on BBC Radio 2 every week and doesn't have a week off. And he does
this morning as well. He does like sometimes it's on ITV this morning.
Yeah, so it's fascinating how he isn't on the list, but people like Chris Baines is, which I remember Chris Baines. But if you're going to put Chris Baines on, you may as well put Jeff Hamilton on.
Well, yeah.
Unless they have to be alive.
It does say active. It does say active gardening TV presenters. But Chris Baines.
Maybe that's what the only criteria is then.
We're picking holes at this, aren't we? Yeah. I mean, let me just ask you something while you're on the phone. Kim Wilde,
Yeah.
Singer, right?
Yes, she was a singer, and then after she, I think she did "Girls in America," the song. We're the kids in America.
We're the kids in America.
Whoa!
Thank you.
And then when when all that ended, she then retrained as a garden designer.
Oh, is it? Oh, okay.
But very quickly, the Matthew Perry story, the Michael Perry story is.
Yeah.
He did a video for Thompson and Morgan back in the day, and I was in contact with Thompson and Morgan at the time before they sold the company, because there were quite good people there back in the day. And I said, whoever that guy is, he works good on video. You should get him to do some more things. And the message came back to me, oh, he isn't interested. He just wants to do his job and do a bit of video on the side. He isn't interested. And then 6 months later, he's all over the place. So I feel responsible that I pushed Thompson and Morgan to put him on video. And once he got the bug, well, you can't switch this morning on without his face popping up.
He's everywhere, mate. He's everywhere.
Where's my commission?
I don't think he's watching him. He was watching earlier on in the show, but I'll let him know that you want how much do you feel is worthy for a whole career.
Well, yes. I'm just looking at this list now. So how far have we got down to?
Oh, I don't know, mate. We've got Bunny Guinness.
Well, she's radio.
This guy on the question times thing's got me through me a little bit. Jim McCall.
Now, Jim McCall did the Beech Grove Garden for many years, like 40 years or something like that. And he stepped down from the Beech Grove Garden about 2 years ago, because he's about 83 now.
There's some ages flying around in this group, isn't there?
Yeah, so he was on the very first one that started back in 1978.
Right.
So he's been on TV for quite a while, but he left Beech Grove apparently by his own accord.
Right. What do you mean apparently?
Officially, he left of his own accord.
Right,
and then the following year, they just happened to revamp the entire show with some younger presenters.
Okay.
So it depends if you read between the lines, and it's the type of show. Once you take somebody out that's got all that experience, it loses something a bit.
Yeah, because you sort of lose that.
There was a very good show. You wouldn't remember this because it was on in the 80s, called Gardening Time. I think it was on a Thursday afternoon, round about 1:30, because I used to watch it before I used to go back to school.
Right.
And it was with Jeff Amos and Howard Drury. Now, Jeff Amos was about 70-something, and Howard was about 30. And it's played off. It was just two men. They'd go out into the garden in King's Heath Park in Birmingham, but the majority of it would be based in a potting shed situation. And it worked, because when he didn't know the answer, he would just say to Jeff then, so how would you do it? And there was a bit of comedy between Jeff doing it the old way and Howard doing it the new way.
Yeah. That's that's what that sort of brings to it, doesn't it?
I still think there's space for another TV gardening show, maybe on Channel 5.
Do you reckon?
Now, Dan Pearson, I wouldn't call him.
No, yeah, I agree with you. But what sort of gardening program?
Just jumping down a bit, but Dan Pearson is somebody who is been on TV as an interviewer, but I don't think I've ever seen him present a show. I'm starting to get a vibe this list was to fill up a quarter. You know, when they've got to do 6 articles a day, and they were like, right, what can we do for this? Oh, I know, just
No.
you know, give me a name. What name? Yeah, right, put him on the list.
This is a very important list. This is.
Yeah, but further down, Tommy Walsh. Ground Force hasn't been on TV for 15 years.
Yeah, I can't argue with you with that one. That is
And also, what I find quite interesting in this is I wasn't aware that Flo, how do you pronounce her surname?
Headlam.
I wasn't aware that she was ex-Gardener's World.
I hope she knows.
I thought she was Gardener's
Oh,
World.
I thought so too. I've not watched Gardener's World for a while. Has she been on recently?
I haven't watched it for a few weeks because I find problem with Gardener's World I've got. Well, I think an hour is far too long.
Right.
But I've had this since the 80s. So you watch Gardener's World, you love it, and then summer comes, and then you're in the garden.
Well, yeah, that's true.
And then you come back to it around about mid-September.
Yeah, that's true.
And then within a few weeks, it comes to an end.
That's what I'm saying, mate. Maybe they should forget about doing it in the summer and do it over the winter.
I think that during the winter, they could at least do one once a month.
Yeah.
You know, but it goes back to this thing. My bugbear is you don't put a garden to. If you're doing gardening in the way it should be, you don't put the garden to sleep during the winter.
Yeah, very true.
Like I've been busy today just doing cutting things down, turning the soil over, fixing the roof on the shelves on the shed.
Yep.
Sort of, you know, doing all the maintenance. But then, is maintenance gardening? Maybe it wouldn't fill the remit for Gardener's World.
Well, it should be though, because it's part of it, isn't it? Like you can't have all the glory without the hard work that goes behind it. If you don't do the maintenance, then you're not gonna be able to grow stuff, are you? And when it's nice.
And it's like I was watching the RHS Twitter surgery that they have every Tuesday afternoon, where people can send in questions.
Oh yeah.
And again, the same thing that I've seen for 10, 20 years. Somebody sends in a question. Now we're getting closer to the winter. What seeds can I start to grow? Yeah. And the answer was, you should have thought about this back in June. But then I don't think I can't recall off the top of my head seeing Monty say in July or emphasizing the fact that I'm putting things in now for the winter.
No, probably not, because the TV program doesn't go into the winter. So why would he show himself doing stuff for winter?
But I still think with the internet now, they could do a 15-minute update every week just from his garden. And it wouldn't cost that much just to send, like give it to the researcher to do. Just say, right, just do a 15-minute thing from Monty's garden of what he's been up to this week.
Be nice. There's definitely a people definitely want it.
There.
Yeah, definitely. I don't know, mate. I don't know.
So how far have we got to the list?
We're almost at the questionably the best part of the list. After we've missed a few people. Raven,
Alan Gardner's great.
Alan Gardner, yeah, I like him. Although Autistic Gardener's not been about for a while, I think they should bring that back.
Yeah, I think a lot of programs like Love Your Garden and everything was sort of been put on hold this week. For this year. But the one thing I did notice about the Rich Brothers show, I can't remember what it's called now.
Garden Force or Garden
Rescue was, because of our conversation before about Ground Force, I did notice that even though the garden looked great, it looked bare because they'd actually planted it as a garden rather than a TV garden. Going back to what I'd said before.
Well, actually, do you know what it is with that, though? They're using the people's money. Like, they're actually I suppose for Ground Force, they were not asking the people for money, were they?
The one thing that got me incensed about today's show was they went to this person's garden, and they must have thrown out about 50 perfectly good slabstones. And I thought, I could have done with them on my plant.
We just follow that.
Maybe I should have a word, because I know people on the production crew. I should have a word and find out which garden they're doing next and pair it side with the van.
Yeah, just follow it around, mate. That's what I'd do. Imagine what they get rid of.
Yeah, just put it all in the van and then it's gone.
Yeah.
Stefan Pachesky.
But yeah, I'm not sure on that.
I liked him. He was the tall guy with the dicky bow on. He used to be on Gardener's World with the dicky bow, and he'd always be brought in when they wanted to talk a bit of science in the garden, because he was. In fact, he is Professor Stefan Pachesky.
Yes, British horticulturist, botanist, and biographer. I'm guessing his age would be about 74 now.
At least you got above the dog.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it was I mean, how did the dog even get on there?
Yeah.
There you go. I don't know. Anyway, mate, we'll do our own one. All right.
I think you should do your own list, the top 50.
Yeah, we'll do it again. We did it. Well, I can't remember when we last did it, but yeah, we'll do it again.
Get a pizza box, because the nights are getting dark now, so there's not a lot else to do.
I'll have a pizza, mate, this weekend. We'll do it at some point soon.
Right. Speak to you later.
See you later, dude. Bye bye. We've got to do it. We're gonna have to do it, aren't we? We won't do it yet. We've got a few bits that we need to do. We've got all the time in the world. We'll do it, mate, sometime in November. November's coming. Unbelievable. 8 minutes left of the show. Let's see what everyone's saying. Kim Wilde sung Kids in America. I see an advert of her in the garden. Can't remember what she's advertising, though. Who is the guy on Jeremy Vine's allotment show? That is... What's Terry Walton? Sure it is. Maybe I meant to... Yeah, he's on both things. He's everywhere, Terry Walton. Lisa said, Sean, I'm learning a lot from you. It's got all the stories. Oh, Sean. That's how I want my videos, to be honest. When does Gardener's World stop? I think it stops now. I think it's the reason this has been brought out now. And yeah, Sean was in TV before this. Before he was calling into this show, he was on doing the old tally. I think he still does do tally, actually, Sean. He still does do bits. Anyway, right. Let's finish this list, because it gets pretty juicy at the end. Pretty juicy. Stefan, because I'm really sorry, Stefan. I can't read that. I thought it was Stephanie. Professor Stefan, it should have been. I'd have him up for that. So, everyone, here we go. So, Stefan, Professor Stefan, just underneath Professor Stefan, Lee Conley, Skinny Jean Gardener. Yeah! Oh, yes! I can't celebrate too much because there's a story. There's a story that I'll tell just you and the listeners of the podcast. Listen to the best bits over on the audio podcast team. I'll tell you a story how I ended up on this list, and it wasn't. Woohoo! Get in there, Lee. A celebration dance. It wasn't quite as you thought. I mean, out of all the active presenters at the moment, I'm actively presenting. Not on tally. Although we did, what was it last year? Gardeners. What was it? What was it called? Gadget Show. Was it last year? Gadget Show. Or the year before that? No, it couldn't have been. I think it was last year. Gadget Show. Big star. Big probably. I think it was their biggest ratings. The story. We've got 5 minutes left of the show. Come on, Lee. The story goes like this. Someone put on Twitter. Claire Vokins put on Twitter when she saw this. I'm not on Twitter, am I? I don't really see stuff come through. I would have never known about this had it not been put my way. Surely Skinny Jean Gala. She might have been joking. She could have been joking. Right? Shut up, Sean. About 10 minutes after she wrote that, I went on the list. Where's my phone? Oh dear. What goes on? So I saw this. Where is it? So I saw this pop up, right? Where did I write this? On Twitter. I saw this come up and I wrote, this list is a disgrace. I mean, does no one remember me? Does no one remember my short time on Blue Peter or that award-winning performance of the Gadget Show? Good show. Do they mean nothing to you? I mean, who even is Roy Lancaster? I bet he's never been on Sunday Brunch. I thought I was. Maybe just me. It got changed, and I wrote, "I instantly take this back. I still don't believe Roy. I still don't believe Roy Lancaster has been on Sunday Brunch, though." Oh dear. There we go. So that's the story. That's the story between me and you. But tomorrow, team, if you look on my website, it's already on there. Tomorrow, I'll be talking about it on the Twitter. We won't discuss this story. Luckily, no one plays videos back this far back, surely. We won't discuss it. All right? This is between me and you. But yes, if anyone asks you, yes, I am on the top 50. The top 50. There he is. Just underneath the professor. The top 50 active garden presenters. Underneath that is green-fingered George from Blue Peter, the guy who took my job, and a dog. So, so there we go. Say it like that. Just laughed to myself. Right. So there we go, everyone. So anyone that calls in, the phone lines are now closed, team. Anyone that calls in now, I do want to be just say hello, sir, Mr. Sir Connolly. How are you doing? Tomorrow, when I head to Richard's Pot and Shed, I want a red carpet laid out. And yes, Sean Cameron, I'll be getting a blue tick somewhere along the line, probably on my hand in blue pen. But yeah, tell me what you think, everyone. Who influenced you? We're closing the show tonight, by the way. But who influenced you? Ever think about it? We'll be back tomorrow from 8 p.m. Talking all things gardening. Once again, you're gonna want a knighthood next. Someone messaged me and said, "What?" Then whatever next. I said, "I'll get a Garden Media Guild Award achievement, a lifetime achievement award next." Oh dear. There we go. Can do red carpet. Can't do red carpet with a tea and bacon tonight. Do perfect, my friend. Perfect. We're back tomorrow. We're watching a classic Welsh episode of Ground Force with Mr. Suggett. Tune in Come and have a laugh. Final show tomorrow. So 8 till 10. If you fancy it, jump on board. Thanks so much to everyone who's watched tonight. And thank you very much, Hawk Weekly, for making me just as famous as a professor and a dog. Facilia. Or Pachilia, if you just read it off there.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm on.
Oh, I can't hear you, Anon. I've done something wrong with the thing. Anyway, elephant poo is what I got.
Good evening, Lee. How are you?
Great, mate. Your signal is always terrible, but I'm good, my friend. Excuse me. You got an allotment? When I go, don't put artificial grass on top of me, alright?
Are you going to get composted, Lee?
Yeah,